Audio check, audio check. I hope it works. So that was a fucking pain in the ass. The microphone wasn't working. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You might hear a familiar voice. It's been a long time, but I am Biz Gabriel, your usual Division 1 commentator. Missed quite a lot of races. We're in actually round 6 of season 19, the first season we are having on the F1 26 DLC. And I'm back in the commentary box. I missed a lot of races, the first 5 of the brand new season, essentially because I just had shit to do in the past couple of Saturdays. I wasn't able to make it, but deal with it. I just had stuff to do. So I'm really not gonna commentate qualifying because I need to catch up on a lot of stuff. So basically, for who's living under a rock, wait a second. Right. So, for who's living under a rock, we are on the F1 26 DLC that's been released on the same F1 25 game, which has have this new season pack with the 2026 cars, as you can see on screen right now. Actually, last week we had a race in Madrid, the brand new track, which was quite entertaining across all 3 divisions. But here we're Division 1, so what's hopefully the best of the racing we have here in F1 Total. We are in Zandvoort, round 6 out of 15, because for this season, well, for this game cycle, we're doing 15 races, 4 seasons, so that we can have 3 seasons on this game cycle, season pack, whatever. 14 people on the grid, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock to the end of qualifying. I need to catch up on a lot of stuff. So basically, yeah, I have a lot of static on my mic because I'm just pretty much using a backup microphone at the moment. Main one is being a bitch, it's not working. Wait, actually, I need to check how does the audio match with the game sound. Wait. Okay, I did turn it down now because there was too much static, and in the meanwhile, Cole has crashed at the last corner. I have no fucking idea how that happened. Just let me have another check real quick. Yeah, okay, this microphone just isn't great, but you're gonna have to deal with it. No, I don't really care. So, standing situation, because that's an interesting one. Felix is surprisingly, I don't want to be mean, but he's actually having a very, very good run. In the past 5 races, he's won 3 of them. Actually, the first 3 races, he has won them all in a row. Had a P2 in round 4 and then a mere P6 in round 5 in Madrid last week. But he's leading the standings on 103 points, 4 out of 5 podiums, and right now there's not really any. How can I say? There's no clear contender for the championship against Felix as of now. We've got Killaswag, but he's 46 points behind. Todo Barcelona, I have no idea who that is. There's Cole, who was supposed to be much higher up the field, but he's just 41 points. That's actually 62 behind Felix, sitting in P4. There's Jeremy in P5. And talking about teams, real quick, Felix and Jeremy are together at Haas. A teammate pairing you will not expect to see after pretty much every Division 1 season there has been so far, given the rivalry and their very often than not battles and controversies on track. Who else? There's a few reserves here. There's Dylan in McLaren, and Nordic is reserving Aston Martin, replacing Sully for the moment. There's Lascia Danelia, he's a new driver. Alex in the Alpine, he's not Alex the G, this is a new Alex. He's debuting today as the main driver for Alpine. What about Peter? Is he main in Red Bull? He is, yeah. So now we're up to 15, and you might have catched the fact that I said that there's no clear contender for the championship against Felix. Well, that's because there's a very big game changer this season. The one and only Cut Racer, the 7-time world champion, has retired. And let me elaborate on that, because the F1 2026 season, alongside the game, has had its fair share of controversies in real life and in the game. There are multiple drivers who are just not enjoying the way you have to drive and race these 2026 cars. The racing is completely different because it pretty much depends on the battery rather than anything else, as Felix proceeds to show his skill issue coming out of turn 10. But yeah, the racing is fundamentally different. Many people are not enjoying it. Some people are taking it so far that they're just retiring from the season and they're refusing to drive these new cars. And one of them is Cut Racer, who just decided to call it a career, apparently. And at least at the moment for the 2026 cars, just giving up his seat. He does not want to race with these cars. And well, this shakes up the championship massively, because now we have no idea who's going to be a clear contender against Felix. In the meanwhile, we were watching Nordic, who was already on pole, and he's just been drifting pretty much the entire lap. And what else? Well, qualifying is over. Nordic looks to be on pole position. Yeah, it's a 109.486. Felix is in P2 with a 109.787. Numi in P3 still in the 109s with a 0.8. Cole with a 0.9 flat. D-Stream just 11 thousandths behind in P5, and we end the streak of these 109s. We're gonna see the results in a moment. I do apologize if I sound a little bit off commentating. It's just the fact that I need to get used to it. Because right now I'm pretty much commentating with like no training, no practice, because I just missed 6 weeks, if not more, with the break. So my commentary performance is not going to be the best, but don't really care. Deal with it. So Danelia in P6, Berman in P7, Killaswag in P8, Alex in P9, and Morbad in P10. Jeremy with a disappointing qualifying, it's in P11 only. Same for Peter in P12. Dylan in P13, Bazuka in 14th, and Zvabst, I think, is a new driver for Audi. He's in dead last in P15 with no time set on the board. So we are ready to race here in Zandvoort, and it's not a straightforward race whatsoever. I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a 2-stop, because that's the way it's been in Division 3 and Division 2. Tire wear is a pain in the ass around this track, especially, well, not especially, it's pretty much only the front left that just gives up at any given corner. It wears out like 30 or 40% more than the rest of the tires. yeah, this track really takes a huge toll on the front left on the fronts in general, but especially more so on the left one. And given how it is such a short track, that already puts a lot of stress on one singular lap, like even in qualifying. And since it's a short track, there's going to be 36 laps of racing with such a high wear rate per lap. It's pretty much guaranteed to be a two-stop. The medium is absolute ass around this track, so I am also 99% sure drivers are going to pick the harder tire allocation and are going to go for two hards. Now the question is, when are they going to use the mediums? Is it going to be at the start of the race on the first stint, or is it going to be on the last stint of the race? Even though I can say from experience, it's not a good choice to have the mediums on the last stint of the race. So we might see, I don't know, someone using the medium on the second stint, since it's going to be the least useful anyway. No rain is predicted, even if the sky is cloudy. Otherwise, the Discord chat it would have gone crazy, and it didn't happen. But yeah, so like I said, Felix is comfortably leading the championship as of now, and there's still no clear contender. I mean, there would be you would expect Cole to be up there, but he's missed 2 races, but he had a win, a P3, and then a P fuck all. He had like 1 point in Madrid. And again, he missed 2, so he's very far back. Nordic he's reserving today, so we might see him as the main contender for this race for him, but it's not really like a consistent threat in the championship with his attendance and so on. Who else could it be? Killaswag, Jeremy, but they're having a bit of a stinker here in Zandvoort, at least in qualifying. By the way, this microphone is very uncomfortable because I need to keep it. It's not the one attached to my headset. I'm keeping it close to my mouth.
Gets underway, and every driver will be looking
with
to
one hand. On the other hand, I have to use the controller. So majority of the grid starting on mediums. Cole is starting on softs. Well, he's bottled this race, I can tell you that for sure. Peter is on hards. Same for Bazooka is Vavs, but Cole and Dylan on the softs. They have absolutely bottled the strategy. There's no coming back from that. The soft last 2 laps.
All the cars reform the grid. The drivers will
I know the compounds are C2 to C4, but the tire wear is just so incredibly high.
Ensuring their plans, strategies
There's really
are all
no
in
point
place.
using the softs. Like, what are these guys doing? But F1 total shenanigans, I guess. So, every car is now on the grid. We are ready for the race start. In Zandvoort for lap 6 of season 19. 5 red lights. They are on. It's lights out and away we go, and Nordic has a very good start, coming to the inside to prevent Felix from making a move, but he's way too far behind anyway, and there's already contact between a Ferrari and a vehicle. The Slash at Daniela being spun around in turn 1. He's made contact with Numicon, who has lost a place to Cole, who is up in P3, and now Alex as well going into the gravel just before turn 3. It's a terrible start for Alex and Lasha Daniela. D-Stream as well has made a mistake. He's slowing down on the straight just before turn 7. On this couple of corners, there's 2 cars going side by side in turn 7. That's Jeremy and Berman, and the Haas driver stays ahead with a very good start. He's in P7 right now, behind Berman, and just ahead of Morbat. Moves already happening on the field. Peter is overtaking Dylan, despite Peter being on hards and softs on Dylan's car. But 2 tenths are separating the leader. Bazooka and Alex also battling. Bazooka looks to be very slow through there. We go back to the leaders. Let's actually look at the tires. We got a quick reminder. So Cole is on the softs, and he's looking to attack Felix and Nordic as soon as possible, probably. But Numi and Killswag are not gonna let it happen. very easy, but Felix is going for the inside of turn 1, making a move on Nordic Ninja, and it goes deep. Nordic Ninja is using the switchback. They still go side by side through turn 2 and through turn 3. Now Felix has the inside line for the banking and maintains position ahead of Nordic, who's actually ghosting through his teammate, who is going to be ahead. Is it going to be Team Orders in Aston Martin just on lap 2 of this race? Who is going to be ahead? The pole sitter on the driver with the better tires, but it's gonna be Nordic keeping the P2, and Yumi is just sniffing Cole's gearbox right now, and he's having to slam on the brakes through turn 8, I believe. If I say turn 7, no, this is turn 10. Fuck's sake, can't count. So this top 5 looks to be very, very competitive, but now Felix is gonna look forward to just get rid of this pack as soon as possible. But everyone looks to be in 1 second of each other, so everyone is gonna have the overtake enabled. That gives you extra power from the electric engine. You get more deployment and more recharge, which is absolutely crucial for pretty much this entire season. Yumi is still very close to Cole, but not enough to make a move happen. D-Stream and Dylan battle for position as D-Stream goes up into P12, overtaking Dylan just before turn 1. Actually, Dylan, he looked like he had some grip, but decided to back out. And Killaswag is looking very, very close to the Ferrari. Look at that. They chase each other through turn 6. Yeah, and now there's another fast right-hander. That's turn 7. Leading into another right-hander, that's turn 8, and Numicon looking for the inside of Cole, but he was definitely too far behind to make it happen. But now Killaswag will have the inside line for turn 10, battling with the Ferrari driver. Killaswag is ahead, gets some better traction, and it's up into P4, chasing the Aston Martin, but now he defends the inside against the Ferrari driver. He does not want to concede this position. He's focused on making these moves happen as soon as possible, but now Numicon is still hounding him, just sniffing on his gearbox, staying as close as it could be, but now some distance is creating itself once again. Now we can see every single car using the active aero mode, because every single car at pretty much any straight that allows you to, you can open the front wing and the rear wing as well. Babs and Alex battling for place. Babs in the Audi on the hard tire goes ahead, and actually the tire is so brutal around this track that the hard compound actually beats the mediums on pace. I mean, quite soon, like lap 4 is potentially already the lap where the hards start becoming faster than the mediums. So we might have to look out for Pecker and Bab, currently sitting respectively in P9 and P10. So the championship leader is also the leader of the Dutch Grand Prix on lap 4 out of 36. There's still a long way to go. We still need to see how they manage the strategy and every single compound. No matter where they're pushing, I am still pretty confident it's going to be a free stop. Nordic is not close enough to make a move happen, even if he has the bigger deployment from the NZUK. And Berman is ghosting. He might have made a mistake, but now he gets passed by Jeremy for P6. They're still ghosting through each other, but Jeremy carries more speed in turn 3 and goes ahead. Numi has lost the overtake mode. Did he? Okay, no, he still has it, but he's more than 1 second behind Killaswag, so something must have happened there. Killa's still doing a very good job of staying in this top 4. But Numicon looks like he's coming back. He's back into the gap, barely. Nordic is definitely at least trying to put some pressure on Felix. But Killaswag looking for a move. Well, he did have a look around the outside of the penultimate corner, that's turn 13, but backed out of it. But it did lose some time, both him and Cole. Does Killa go for a move because it's very close to Cole, but not quite. I mean, it was close, but he chose to stay behind. But Nordic is, again, at least trying to put pressure on Felix. They're very close to each other. And, I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed they're going to go on 2 set of cards, but we could still be surprised by who pits later and who pits earlier. An undercut could definitely make the difference here, especially if they're on the same strategy. And now Killa Swag, oh, Cole is on the gravel! Cole is in the gravel into the roundoff area of turn 6. I don't know if he made contact with Killa Swag, but now he's lost a lot of places and he's ghosting, is down in P9, ghosting through the car of Petter, fighting for P8. Vabs just stays behind. And in the meanwhile, D-Stream and Alex fighting for P11, but I don't know what happened to Cole. All of a sudden he was in the gravel and just lost a lot of places while trying to rejoin. Zvabs and Petter fighting as well. Zvabs, he is defending and attacking. That's very lovely to see. Keeping that P9 all for himself in the opening stages of this Dutch Grand Prix. Jeremy now overtaking Nubicorn, the Haas against the Ferrari, down inside of turn 1. Jeremy goes ahead and there's a lot of position swaps in the second half of the field. What happened there? Someone is speeding. Dylan is speeding from soft to... Oh, and there's damage for some cars for this stream. What happened there? Yellow flags are being waved. Was there like a pile-up between multiple cars? I don't know. Something massive happened around turn 1 and 2 in the bottom half of the field. I'm not sure what happened, but something definitely did. Now, Dylan going up to the softs as soon as possible, now on the hards, and he's gonna have to manage, ideally, 2 stints of hard tires of 15 laps each, which is doable, but you could have pushed more and would have had a shorter stint on hards if it was on the mediums, and the softs really don't look like they were paying off. And I expect Cole to be in the pits very soon, if not this lap, because those softs after 6 laps, I won't be surprised if they already reached 60% or something. And those tires, they're just falling off a cliff. Peter on the hards, fighting Cole. He has the inside line. They're still wheel to wheel. And just look at how much more speed Petter has. And Cole just pushed Petter. And now Alex having a look down the inside of turn 3. And D-Stream decides to retire in the pit lane. That's a DNF already on lap 8 for the Red Bull driver. And oh, Cole and Alex almost went side by side. Cole is at least trying to defend. But Alex knows that he's on extremely slow tires, and Cole goes onto the curb and almost bottoms out. That could have ended way worse than it did, but it's still a huge time loss for both of these drivers right now. They're losing loads and loads of time because Cole is just, at this point, unnecessarily defending. He just needs to go back in the pits and change tires and prioritize the pace, but he's just defending and he's in the gravel again. And Cole showing why he's not really a championship threat at the moment, if you ask me. Oh, Peter and Morba going side by side. Killa Swag and Nordic already in the pit lane from the mediums, and that's a very aggressive undercut, I have to say. Jeremy as well, and many drivers going in the pits in this lap. Killa Swag, Nordic Ninja, Jeremy, and, well, Cole, but we have 3 drivers who were on mediums going into the pits already for their first pit stop of the race, so they're gonna have to handle the following 27 laps on 2 sets of hards. Now it's gonna be interesting to see, does the top 3 react? What do Felix, Numi and Berman decide to do? Do they respond to the undercut immediately and accept losing a few seconds and potentially position, or stay out longer, like at least until those tires just die, so that eventually when they go on the hards they're gonna have less wear and a pretty much permanent advantage, like pace advantage, for literally the rest of the race. We'll see how that goes. Felix is in. He responds immediately to the undercut and immediately wants to go on the hard compound. So does Numi, so does Berman. Okay. So Zvabs and Petter obviously staying out on all the hards.
so he's trying to extend the stint. And is my
I don't know if my audio glitched for a little. So, Morbad and Lascia Danelia actually staying out on the medium, so potentially aiming for just like aiming for the advantage later on if they stay out for longer. So Felix did not lose position to Nordic, and it's actually a good thing. And he has very so slightly fresher tires, so he is still in effective lead of the race. But Nordic is right there. So is Kill as well, but he got a penalty actually. 10 seconds, he's spent in the pit lane. Killaswag, come on. That's very unnecessary. But he did get caught off guard and he gets a hefty penalty for it, as well as Morbad, 10-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. And that's a... He had a puncher! Morbad had a front left puncher! After only 10 laps! That's insane! So let's watch out for Lascia Danelia. My audio keeps glitching. I fucking hate this microphone. I hope I can go back to the normal microphone. But Morbad had a front left puncher. Oh, and look at that grip. That grip on a V-carb is non-existent. Those front tires are in another universe right now in terms of life. Like they're in the afterlife already. Those fronts are not gripping whatsoever. Look at that understeer. There's just no grip. But it was surprised by Morbad's puncher after only 10 laps. Absolutely insane. And Danelia is just crawling back to the pits. Those tires have negative grip right now. Goes out on a curb, almost bottoms out. Now he's in. He did not puncture though. That was very close. So, Felix is in effective lead of the race. Now he's overtaking Bazooka, who is on another side on the side, but Nordic still stands it down inside the 3 wide going into turn 1, and Nordic takes the advantage of Felix, losing time with the slower car of Bazooka, and makes the move happen in turn 1. So now Nordic Ninja is in the lead of the race and already cleared 4 tenths, but actually, is he giving back the place? Because Felix had a huge burst of power just before turn 7. Actually turn 6, and there's yellow flags for Morbad, I don't know. But actually Alex almost going for the move on Dylan. So now the entire grid is on the hard compound. There are some drivers who just made their pit stop a few laps ago, and some others who started the race in the hard that are yet to make their first stop. But there's no question that the hard compound is definitely the best racing compound around this track. So I mean, unless Jeremy like finds a lot of pace and can get past Bazooka really quickly and just overall gain a lot on Felix and Nordic and get past Killaswag as well, it could be a 3-way fight between Felix, Nordic and Jeremy for the win. But as of now, it looks like a duel between Felix and Nordic Ninja for the win of the Dutch Grand Prix. So lap 13 out of 36, we just entered the second third of the race. And it's gonna be interesting to see how many laps do they decide to do on these hard compounds, because they either like keep the same amount of mileage on both hard stints, or maybe someone pits earlier from the other cut, someone pits later for the pace advantage later. It's gonna be interesting to see. In the meanwhile, let's keep an eye out on Jeremy, who's 2.5 seconds away from Killaswag in P5. And there's a change for the provisional lead of the race between Peter and Svabst. Actually, Svaz made a mistake. He had a half spin. Nordic is very close. He's trying to fake a dummy down the inside of Felix, trying to put pressure on him, but he doesn't fall for it. Keeps his line and keeps the place. Although Nordic, he looks like he's trying a lot of alternative lines to try and get past Felix. He's trying many different lines where you're supposed to have a better exit, like going for a later apex or whatsoever. So now we're just harvesting through these corners, which makes sense. And well, a topic I didn't really talk about previously. In the meanwhile, Jeremy is actually losing some time to Killaswag, but it could be because Killaswag is he has the overtake mode. Anyway, what I didn't talk about earlier is just how the racing goes with this whole sort of there's a battle between Numicon and Burman, but Numis is ahead. So the racing is drastically different from 25 because of the battery. Like 50, if not more than 50% of your racecraft and race results depends on how you use the battery, how efficient you are at deploying, deploying not too much while also still keeping a relatively good and consistent pace, and how good you are in recharging, because it's not just as straightforward as push to the limit and the battery recharges whenever you brake. No, you have to do, you pretty much have to do a lot of lift and coasting in multiple tracks, not all of them, but many of them. And if not lift and coasting, an efficient way to save battery is to stay on a certain percentage of the throttle, like stay in 80% throttle before the braking zone, and then you actually lift off the throttle before braking. And meanwhile, King Lasher is off. No, that's Cole. Once again proving why he's not a championship contender. I'm sorry for the banter, it's just funny. Svaz is in the pit after 15 laps on those hards, and that's a reasonable mileage, I would say. Now, does he go in the mediums? Yes. So he chooses to go in the mediums for the second stint of the race. How long is he gonna? How much time is he gonna spend on this compound? How long is he gonna extend this stint? Pretty much depends on how many laps you want to do on the hards later, because that's gonna be the most crucial stint when you're on low fuel and supposed to push to the max. And Cole, he had wind damage. So this race is going from bad to worse from Cole. Now he's gonna have to take these hards to the end, 20 laps, and you have to do quite a lot of saving to bring those tires to the end, and he's pretty much in dead last anyway. He's just hoping for a safety car at this point. I did lose Nordic overtaking Felix, I apologize for that, and Killaswag is also very, very close. Even if he has the penalty, the fact that he's there, his car is physically there. Oh, Felix is going for the inside of the penultimate corner. I did not see that move coming whatsoever. Felix retaking the lead just before turn 13, and now he's gonna have to defend on the straight. He keeps on the inside and now moves back to the outside, and Nordic trying to hang it around the outside. He's gonna have to carry more speed into the corner, but Felix has the better line, stays ahead, and actually Nordic is side by side with Killaswag. Never mind, Killaswag goes back behind. It could be a three-way fight, but it's just a two-way fight if Killaswag didn't have the penalty. And Jeremy really looks to be... oh, there's a virtual safety car. For some reason, Dylan has made a collision with Lasha Danelia and got a 10-second penalty for that. I have absolutely no clue what happened. Does he have damage? He has big damage. Big damage on the McLaren. He's missing like half of the wing on the right-hand side. He's missing the end plate and quite a few chunks. Quite a few flaps on the wing. So there's a virtual safety car. I don't think anyone is going to use this occasion to pit. I don't think it's the best timing for it, and it could be a virtual that just goes away soon. So we have a bit of a break. The drivers have a bit of a break to crucially recharge their batteries up to 100, which is so incredibly crucial. And Hillersweg is pitting. I wouldn't have done that. He's on 9 laps all mediums. He definitely had some more lifespan in it, and going for an 18 lap stint, not really necessary in my opinion. But he did have to serve the penalty anyway. So we are back to pretty much okay. We're back on the green flag. We are back at witnessing the fight as it is, a two-way fight for the win between Felix and Nordic. And some other drivers started pitting as well. Lasha didn't retire, it's in the pit. Lasha fixes his front wing, and Hillersweg serves the penalty, and he's on the hards for the remaining 18 laps, which is not a good choice in my opinion. So, 18 out of 36. Half of the race has gone underway. So Jeremy is pretty much driving on his own, and at this point he's just defending a podium, which is an insanely good position. He was starting in P11 or some shit. So being up there in P3 is a very good race, very good driving, and he's just defending this P3 from Numikon and Burman, who can be really tough contenders. So I think it's going to be a close fight. Zvabs sets the fastest lap on the mediums as now at 12.273 from the Audi driver, who overtakes his teammate just as he sets his fastest lap. And well, they're on different strategies anyway. Nordic trying to stay close, trying to chase Felix during the corners. Has a full battery, that's exactly what you need out of this corner. Ideally you need a full battery out of the penultimate corner, but it's a very good compromise. And Nordic goes a little bit deep into the gravel, but he's managing his ERS very, very good. There you go, full battery out of the penultimate corner, so you can deploy right to the dash. But he's not close enough to make a move. Who could be close enough for making a move happen is Numikon, who's going around the outside of Jeremy. They are wheel to wheel in the braking zone for turn 1. The Haas stays ahead, but the Ferrari carries more speed. They bang wheels slightly. Now Jeremy has the outside line for turn 3. Stays ahead. Numikon looks like he backed out of it, but could have put the switch back, but no. Stays behind and has a little bit of a wobble going into the grass. And now defending against Burman, who's also extremely close. So yeah, these three are just focused on each other. And Vazaka retiring in the pit lane. And Cole gets a penalty for tracking it. Vazaka just at the first stop, it was 11.5 I think, but it's just, oh, right, sorry. No, wait, I'm stupid. No. Vazaka retired and Donella stop. What about the leaders? Anything changing? Felix goes to the middle of the track, goes back to the outside, and Nordic has a look down inside. He's not alongside. Cannot pull it off. Now Zabs, he is making moves left and right on these mediums. He's on a good strategy in my opinion, because if he's gonna have the same mileage on the last stint of hards as everyone else, removing that stint, you have the first two stints where you have to choose between mediums and hards, and it makes sense why you would use the mediums for the second stint, because it's like if it was a one-stop race, you want to start on the hard and finish on the mediums, ideally, you know, if there's no safety car and whatso, because you have a faster car during the end, so it makes sense. And he's showing very good pace. So once he goes to the hards, he's looking. He's in a. he's in an extremely good spot. Like, look at this. He's now into the 1 second range of the podium contenders, 4P3. He's up there, and these guys ahead have a lot of, well, not a lot, but they're close to the pit stop. Actually, Numi goes into the pit. That's earlier than I expected. So he's going for 12 and 14, while Cody's on the full west, just taking a pit at this point. Championship contender, by the way. So I was talking about Zvabst, who is in a very, very good place right now because he has clearly the faster tire between Berman and Jeremy. And if he goes alongside him, he's going to overtake them in no time as Lasha retires in the pit lane as well. We have 4 retirements, all of them in the pit lane. What is up with you people? If one more driver retires, Cole is frauding a point. Oh, Berman and Jeremy make contact! Jeremy looked like he did not leave enough space for Berman, or it could have also been Berman going too deep on the brakes. Down inside, he makes contact with the Haas driver, goes down to P8, and he lost a lot of places. Now, Felix and Nordic, both of them into the pit on the same strategy, responding to Unicorn's choice to go into the pit. So do Jeremy and Alex. So now, pretty much almost every driver is going for their last stop of the race. Zvabst and Peter, again, are in a very good place because they can extend the medium stint. Once they go on the hards, they're going to have a clear, well, not a clear, but still an existent advantage over the rest of the field. So let's watch out for those two. And what happened to Noni? He lost a lot of time. He's 9 cents behind Felix suddenly. Lost a whole lot of time. What happened? It's 1.1. So, what did the medium runners decide to do? Zvabst stays out. He's doing 8 laps. Peter is doing 7. There's yellow flags for an Audi. That's more bad. With a puncher again! Morbad with 2. Wait a sec. What? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Morbad is on the hard, but the left tire is a medium. What a glitch. And and he's patting the pit lane. I can't do this. Look at this. He's on the hards. He's serving the previous penalty he had because now he has 20 seconds, doesn't he? Yes. Morbad with with 2 front left punchers and with 2 speeding penalties. What a performance from Audi. And they're still gonna get a point ahead of Cole. I can't do this shit. I'm sorry. Okay, so Nordic gained a lot of time. Oh, he was oversteering all over the place, but he gained time now on Felix. He's back into the 1 second rage. He's gonna have overtake mode enabled. 12 laps to the end of this Dutch Grand Prix, and it's been nothing. Well, I mean, the fight for the win has been nothing else but Felix and Nordic and Killer's Wag for a very brief section of the race. And Jeremy is disconnected! No! Do I have him added? I don't think I do. Jeremy with a disconnect, no! he was in such a good place. Now he's gonna lose loads of time. He's in P8 now. Laps now in the pits, going for a... Wait, 10 laps? Is he gonna go in the mediums? He is! I am not sure if I agree with this choice. I mean, I can understand because, you know, it's 10 laps. But, like, pushing to the limit on the mediums, I'm not a big fan of it. Like, I tried it in Division 2. To be fair, I did pit a lot earlier than I should have, but it still wasn't a pleasant feeling pushing those mediums on the last stint. No, okay, but that's an interesting choice. Because now, he's gonna have an advantage, but it's gonna be temporary. If he went on the hards, he would have had a permanent advantage to the end. And would have just kept gaining and gaining and gaining without stopping. Now he's gonna have a big advantage now, but he's gonna lose it eventually. Because those mediums are a pain in the ass when they're worn out, especially towards the end. The overheating these tires suffer is unsufferable. Now Peter in the pits again, and he spits in the pit lane. Come on, guys. I get it that the pit lane is 60 kilometers per hour, but I witnessed like 4, 5 speeding penalties in this race. Like, come on. There's no reason to bottle such a good result, or such a good strategy even, for a mistake like that. But now Peter is ahead of Burman, and well, he has the penalty, so it doesn't matter. But Burman, if he at least tried to catch up to, I mean, he still suffered the incident with Jeremy earlier. Now he's the ice thing. Yeah, makes sense. The AI, man. This AI is not doing 10 laps on softs. I love this game. So we are approaching the end of the Dutch Grand Prix, and now Nordic switching left and right between the outside and the inside, and the outside again, trying to fake a move on Felix, but just not making anything happen. He's staying close, but not going for it. Now he tries to go for a later apex instant 3, but that's not really the run he needs unless he deploys a shitload of battery right now. But he decides to stay behind, even though he still tries to look down the inside, but doesn't go for it. Now Nordic is closer than just 1/10 separating these two drivers. He is defending the inside as much as he can, and Nordic goes for it around the outside. They are still wheel to wheel. Nordic going for the wider line. Oh, but he makes contact almost. They are still side by side. Now Felix is on the outside of turn 3. He's gonna hang it around the outside, or does Nordic take the place? Now he's gonna be all about battery. They are still side by side through this short section of corners just before turn 6. I keep confusing them. And Nordic takes the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. That was a very long move. It was definitely longer than I thought it would be. So now, nearing the end of the race, on the remaining 7 laps, after this one, it looks to be a very close fight between these two, who are not going to give up their position whatsoever. And Jeremy retires in the pit lane, and that's such a shame. But what's an even bigger shame is that Cole frauds a single point out of this race. It's just mental. This guy is driving on full wet for 6 laps and he's still scoring points. And Jeremy, it's not even his fault. He just disconnected and his AI put him on stop. His race was over. Wow, and he's trying to pressure Nordic, taking him over on the outside. And oh, Nordic! Braking suddenly! But did he brake? Well, he definitely went slower than he could have. 3.7 and Felix up sitting in the back. Did he get damaged? No, he didn't, but it looked... I don't know, it was just unexpected. But he's going for the move, they still go wheel to wheel through turns, now it's 12. This left-hander is 12. He's taking a lot of curve that's not beneficial for his exit whatsoever. 3 times back is not going to be able to gain that much. As of now, he just needs to focus on the battery and to recharge effectively. Oh, and Felix with a mistake! Felix going wide in turn 6, almost going into the gravel. That was very close to a potentially race-ending spin. Luckily didn't end up that way, and Felix is still in the 1 second range, so he still has overtake boost enabled. And wow, that was a very close one. But this fight is not over yet. Soon to be lap 32, so 5 laps remaining to this Dutch Grand Prix. But Nordic looks to have a lot more battery than Felix does right now. And just look at how painfully slow he is going before turn 3. He's slow, as you can see him in the left-hand mirror. Not alongside, but staying close. And wow, there was a very big lockup from Nordic. So we have this fight for the win, and also a fight for P3 between Killaswag and Numicorn. And Numi is on slightly fresher tires, so he should have the advantage. But Alex and Zvabs are also right there, so we might not rule them out from the race for the podium. 33 out of 36. The clock is ticking, the laps are running out, and we are yet to see who's gonna come out of this race victorious. Is he gonna be the current championship contender or a reserve driver who on his day is unbeatable but lacks consistency, and there's been contact between Felix and Nordic. A very slight one at least. Both their cars look to be intact. So lap 34 out of 36 is still gonna be a very close fight between the reserve driver in the Aston Martin and the championship leader in a Haas. They are on the same strategy. They've been pretty much identical on pace all race long. This is all gonna be about how well they can manage the battery in the remaining 3 laps. Because that's gonna be what decides the fight. If you deploy too early, sure, you might get track position and an advantage, but you will suffer later. Vice versa, you might decide to save a whole lot of battery right now and deploy later, but you might lose a lot of time and position in doing so. Verstappen, meanwhile, with a very good strategy, he's going up in P5. And if he gains even more Numicorn, he might be looking for a P4, but Alex... Okay, no, he was faking the move. He had a penalty anyway. Felix goes for the move at the penultimate corner, just like he did one more time in a lap I don't remember. Felix goes back to the lead of the race, overtaken at the penultimate corner. He defends the inside, switches back to the outside line. We now start the penultimate lap, and Nordic goes very deep on the brakes. He completely misses the apex on the inside. Felix cuts back with the switchback and maintains the lead. That was not a good move from Nordic, just completely missing his braking point, locking up, going straight on, missing the apex by a mile, and not keeping the place to Felix. So, on the penultimate lap of this Dutch Grand Prix is going to be the championship leader, who's looking forward to increase this gap at the front even more and make it 4 out of 6 race wins in this season as of now. But Nordic is just... now he's standing it down the inside of turn number 9. They make contact. He almost pushes Felix wide to the curb on the outside. But now Nordic is in the lead of the race. The drivers are approaching turn 10, straight mode enabled. They're definitely deploying boost right now and braking for turn 11 and 12. We are about to start the final lap of the Dutch Grand Prix, and it's going to be Nordic leading unless Felix goes for the inside once again. Yes, he does, but they still keep it wheel to wheel. Their fronts are banging. Oh, and they make contact, and Nordic is into the wall and out of the race. And that's a very controversial incident between Felix and Nordic. Nordic Ninja, he's been fighting for the race win all race long, and he makes contact with his main rival of this race and with the championship leader. A questionable incident that ends up in Felix potentially getting a penalty. We do not know. The stewards are going to have to review that and see if Felix keeps his win, because if it doesn't, it's going to be Killaswag on the top step of the podium, and maybe Numicorn and Svaps on the podium as well. Depends on how many seconds does Felix get, if he gets any. But Nordic, he definitely came out of that way worse. I mean, Felix, he'll just lose the win, but Nordic, he just completely, he got shunted in. He got shunted into the wall and out of the race, and it was a very hefty impact as well, because that wall on the outside of the last corner is very, very, very hard hitting on the car. If you hit the wall there, it's very potentially a DNF. This race win is going to be decided in the stewards room, but across the line it's Felix who takes the checker flag here in Zandvoort, and on the podium we're going to see Killaswag and Numicorn. Actually, Killaswag drops down loads because of the penalty, so that's Numicorn in P2. Are we seeing a glitch? Did Nordic still have the penalty? Not Nordic, Killaswag. Fuck, it's not showing. So on the podium it could be... Well, it should be Killaswag. He didn't have a penalty earlier, did he? Fuck, I don't remember. But I think we can say for sure that Numicorn and Svabs are on the podium, so I definitely would say congrats to those guys. And if Felix keeps the win, it's gonna be decided in his stewards room. Now, what's fucking funny is that Cole just drove this race doing fuck all. He drove like 11 laps on full wet, and even with Nordic's DNF, you still stands behind Nordic DNF car. Insane. So, the provisional race winner of the Dutch Grand Prix is Felix, but it could be Kilaswag, who for some reason glitched out earlier, but I think he did serve the penalty. I'm not bothered to check, but anyway, definitely a controversial ending to this race, and Nordic he's gonna be, I think, very frustrated about that one. Just having your race ended on the penultimate lap while battling the leader, it's definitely not something you're gonna forget easily. Yeah, a very controversial crash, I would say. So the results are not confirmed. It all depends on how everything goes down to the stewards room. But yeah, so this has been the Dutch Grand Prix in Division 1. Had these technical difficulties with the microphone. I hope I can go back to my normal microphone from next week. So yeah, this was round 6, and for the next round, we're gonna be pretty much at the half point of the season. 15 races, so 7 and 8 are the half point of the season, and it's not gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be Vegas, and if you know a couple of things, if you know one thing or two about these cars and about the engine and the battery, the super clipping, whatever there is to know about this, about these engines, you definitely know it's not fun to drive. I mean, I still haven't tried, but I really think it's not gonna be fun with all the battery management. Is it gonna be fun commentating? I don't know. Could be potentially. Because it's such a silly track with silly regulations like this. We don't know quite what to expect, so I think the only option you have is to just tune in to find out. So tune in next week for Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be Division 3, Wednesday is going to be Division 2, Saturday is going to be Division 1, and actually tomorrow, which is going to be Sunday, we are, for those who were in F1 Total long ago, well, I mean, even for those who weren't, but basically F1 Total had a Formula 2 division long ago, which was interrupted. We are bringing it back, and it's gonna start next Sunday, tomorrow, literally. So we have everything sorted out. Actually, I don't think we have comms for Formula 2. And also all of the main seats are taken, but if you still want to apply as a reserve, we can definitely make that happen. Calendar is already set. We are starting tomorrow, and it's gonna be I think it's Australia. Yes. So we have an 8-race calendar for Formula 2 on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. UK, so that's 1 hour earlier than the usual start of the F1 divisions. And it's not going to be every Sunday. It's only gonna be those when there's no real Formula One weekends happening. Right now, F1 is on the summer break, so we're gonna have 3 weeks in a row of Formula 2, starting again with Australia tomorrow. So join the reserve driver roster if you're interested. If not, we're gonna expect you here on the YouTube channel again for the Vegas Grand Prix across all 3 divisions. So, thank you for watching, and we see you again next week.